Stop allowing people to rename you. Be careful of the names that you allow to be attached to you. You are not your past, and you are not your flaws. Be careful how you rename yourself. See, Naomi was that woman who, she lost her husband, she lost her son. She was going through hell. And I remember the scripture when she says, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, because life has dealt very bitter with me. See what Naomi did, she took on the name that the struggle and the issues placed on her shoulders. She no longer could identify herself as the woman she was, or the woman she is, but she sees something totally different. See, that's the same way where a lot of people might see you and they might be, oh, she was that girl who liked girls. So now if somebody asks, yo, who's that girl that live up the block again? They're like, oh, yo, that lesbian girl? Which one? The one that had the girlfriend up the block? Or, yo, when was the last time you saw that dude? What's his name again? What dude? Yo, that dude, man, that gay dude. See, your struggles and your issues now become your name. Because people tend to forget the name that you have. See, that's the reason why we were born with a name, so that we can call by our name. So don't allow people to call you out of your name. Don't allow you to call you out of your own name. There's a reason why you got the name that you got, because that's how you're identified. See, life happened, and a lot of people have walked away from church, and they've walked away from fellowshipping one with the other. Because, and then when they do that, and we're trying to remember them, they're now known as the backslider dude, the backslider girl. Oh, that old chick? The one that the dude told not to go back to church? Who, that old dude? The one where he met this girl and she decided that, yo, she ain't coming, so he's not coming too? That's how you are now identified. And that always puzzled me as to why is it that we tend to forget people's names and call them out of their name. See, we might have a girl who might have had a little bit of a friendly moment, and we now identify her as the prostitute from down the street that no one loves, that no one cares for. But who are we to give her that identity? See, I've seen where a lot of people, I've known people who's tried to live this godly life, and they've tried to walk the path that they feel in their heart they need to be walking. But it doesn't matter how hard they try to get it right, or to live right and to follow God's teaching. We are stuck on the stigma that is attached to them. See, God already forgotten about that. So why are we still holding it over their heads? Why are we still burdening them down with it? They're already carrying a burden that's heavy. So why are we adding more load to their burdens? But that's not the only thing. See, we tend to add the burdens to ourselves as well. When we take up and we grab a hold of the stigma that is attached to our struggle, we give ourselves more to carry when we do that. But I don't know if you know Mr. Saul, that dude that was persecuting the Christians, that dude where he was on his way to Damascus to do his thing, and God intervened and stopped him in his tracks. You see, that's one thing, that an encounter with God in Saul's case changed everything about him. His name was changed. His attitude was changed. The things that he craved for was changed because God snatched it from him. See, the funny thing about life is the fact that not all of us are going to have that immediate moment. There's some of us who are going to have that moment where we have to go through a process, go through some stuff to come out of this thing, or to get free from this thing. But even though you're going through, it doesn't define you. It does not define you. See, when God changes things, he changes your name, he changes your attitude, he changes you. And people will always see what they want to see. That's the funny part. People will always see what they want to see. Or they will always try to conjure up some memory that they had of you, and try to use that memory to tie you down and to make you feel like there's no hope for you, to make you feel like there's no coming out, there's no stopping, there's no way out. But I remember that the Bible tells me that there is no temptation that's come unto man that God hasn't already made a way of escape for. He's already made the way of escape. See, you are no longer who you used to be. You are no longer your past. You are no longer there. You are no longer that thing, or that person, I should say, who was sleeping around, doing drugs, drinking, smoking, doing everything that you know is harmful not only to you but is displeasing to God. You are no longer that person. You might still struggle and you might have some slip-ups here and there. But don't be defined by those slip-ups. Don't be defined by those moments, by those things that you were. That's not who you are anymore. You are not that. See, you are struggling, but you're not defined by your struggles. You are still fighting, and that thing that's choking you, and others are trying to use it to name you, and you're even using it to name yourself, you are no longer that thing. A lot of times we say, I can't change. This is who I am. They'll say, yo, he or she can't change. That's how they are. The devil is a liar. I pray that you and I will have our Damascus moment where God can meet us and God can intervene and change things, where he can transform us and represent us. That's what I want, is for God to transform me and represent me back to the public, that she's no longer who she was, because I have changed her name and I have changed her. That's the prayer.